What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the Rare AM Filmed Market Watch. I rolled out of bed and did something I haven't done in a while, got in the Discord and just talked Yu-Gi-Oh! All morning. And thanks to that, we have a ton of tabs already in the day. So let's go ahead and jump in with a funny one. Judgment the Dragon of Heaven seems short printed in Battles of Legend, which caused freakouts. Oh my gosh, gotta have it, the new upcoming Light Swords. And people bought this version out instead of paying attention and letting it pay them for the nicer versions that already exist. The ultra rare magazine promo, considered the highest rarity in general, which is also the same rarity, ultra rare, and then the secret rare, which I think looks nicer as well. Now these did go up in price over time. People were paying attention to them, so hearing short print might have caused that knee-jerk reaction, but to go for the version that's newer and honestly the worst in legacy versus, yeah, still free shipping even with that up shipping price, $1.22 now instead of 90 cents. You gotta go around, play with cards, make your carts at this point if you want to be saving that extra money. The margins really do hurt to a large degree when you are buying in Yu-Gi-Oh! But at least it's still $5 to free shipping from certain sellers that are offering it. That tangent aside, whenever you see something new come out and you freak out about it, just peel back and type the card name in and see which versions exist, because honestly, the newest version is the worst version to be buying. We also have Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts, going up, not just for, yeah, Brandon, we're still here. It's also, it seems, for the Illusion deck, so people have been going really ham on the quarter century secret rare, and it's been going up in price very fast, so be aware of that. If you want the easy access version, luckily it's not going to haywire. There's plenty listed, but you can see it's done a bit of a wave in its graph. You might want to get that sooner than later using the TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra. Support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. Triple Tactic Thrust. We discussed that this was surprisingly cheap for being short printed in Maze of Millennia, and it seems to be correcting that course, unfortunately. It is going way up in price, headed towards 50 with only a couple of listings below that. And with that price, I would be typing that card name in as we just discussed and looking that the secret rare is only a couple of dollars more than that, around $54. I get wanting just to have the version going for the cheapest that you can, but when it comes to stuff like this, having the secret rare, if there's another reprint for Triple Tactic Thrust, you know, down the road, around the corner, wherever Konami's going to put it, the secret rare will definitely fall a little bit less than the ultra rare, which will drop off the hardest. The ultimate rare is still a good chunk more, around $16, $17 more than the secret rare, being around $72, and then it's subject to looks and the EU version being better than the US version for OTS ultis, but it's starting to curve up slowly on its graph as well, just like the secret rare. So people can go for those, and that would fall out the least if there was a reprint around the corner, but you have to pay a lot more into it to have that. An interesting thing pointed out is that the collections are actually going out the window and up in price. Look at the sales graph. It had bottomed out around 200, and now the lowest listed is around 235 before it jumps up to 250 very quickly, and even has sales in that 240-ish range. So be aware that these seem to be disappearing if you did buy into it. They're starting to go up in price, and I do like keeping items like this sealed, although it became very lucrative to also look at, Pot of Avarice got bought out, Pot of Duality got bought out, as other past format version cards ended going up, and now it looks like Prosperity got targeted. I hadn't actually clicked this yet, so that's interesting to see another one going, despite all the nice versions of Pot of Prosperity that already exist. It's the quarter century secret rare Pot of Greed that everyone was eyeing, and it's starting to rebound and go back up too. Collectibles made to be collectibles, Magicians of Bond and Unity is starting to go back up out of Phantom Nightmare, the newest one. We saw the past ones got targeted already, and it seems like people are jumping on this early. Reminder, this is going to be packed at regionals, at YCSs in mass while this set still exists, so the quantities of these will continue to populate, unlike the other past ones that have probably slowed down and people don't want to, touch the green Green set. Ugh. Yeah, who wants to be buying into Dune, right? But these 69, not so nice of a price now, into 80, where the others are all trying to be 80. Maybe people are trying to get ahead and also get theirs together, or it's a couple of deep pockets trying to buy in and push this up and get in cheaper and cause a FOMO avalanche too. You never know which direction it's going. Bell is going back down a little in price for the ultra rare, but I still consider this extremely expensive considering how the prices in Phantom Nightmare have been going. And for this ultra, it's around $17. People are super hype on this deck. And also to note, Spirit of Bell, while we covered all the other Bell cards going up, we didn't cover this. This is also going up in price and is around the $2 to quickly $3 card. So be aware that anything Bell seems to be gaining traction right now in hype and anticipation. We have down here, though, I just wanted to note, Promethean Princess down even further. They're available around 25 and Poplar around 23. So Princess is now winning that battle that I thought Poplar would continue to win, but nope, Princess being used in more decks versus Poplar. And look at these quantities of sellers, 185, 161. Ultras versus Secrets, it doesn't seem like that big of a jump, but having a playset plus average per case versus like, you know, having 2.4 of the secret rares per case, that's a huge difference of under a playset versus surplus of a playset when it comes to talking quantities of a card. It's definitely showing here. And low continues to be up in price. Now, speaking of low, Gaith is also for the Voiceless Voice as a tech. It seems to be inside deck / protections, and this is going way up in price versus where it was, over doubled towards $3 to $4. So here's a card you might not have thought was worth anything. Don't give it away for $1 to the guy who asked. Be on top of your cards and choices. I wouldn't have known this one without the Discord, and now you all know thanks to the video. Transaction rollback is way down in price. You can see on the graph it was trying to be 28, now it's 24, and that's from the early hype of $40, as Labrynth is really struggling in this format. You saw the top cut pie charts, and Big Welcome Labrynth similarly is coming on down to be more reasonable, around $17 right now, and I think that'll continue to dip. But you can see just the absolute fall off of these cards as people are like, I don't think so. But it's still an option depending on the ban list that develops for the WCQ, but I don't think they'll be hitting them all that hard to where it blows it back open. And this could be a deck that's still a target for ban list because, you know, Konami is slow sometimes with that, where they like to overreach back thinking, well, if we're hitting this, we need to take care of that too. Ban list are pure speculation when it comes down to it. Drollin Lockbird is down in price still, and that's thanks to the rarity collection. I know it was kind of everywhere within the YCS, but the OG Ultimate Rare continues to get cheaper and cheaper right now. Remember, there was that window where things went down in price for Imperm, and then they went way back up because people still wanted the OG Ulti kind. We'll have to wait and see how everything looks. I think the quarter century secret rare will look amazing, and I still think other versions will look really good. But the collector rare is probably going to fall off much harder than the OTS ulti, and seems to be that direction. I still think the OTS ulti will do fine over time. This is less likely to recover as well. Crossout Designator still continuing to stonk and go up further in price. I think this would be a great addition to the rarity collection system. Jet Synchron Collector Rare has absolutely skyrocketed. It does find its place into certain fire decks, being able to help you to either link further up or do different kinds of combos. So be aware, this also has past format implications as well as current, and is absolutely crazily up in price towards $120 when you could get them for $60 just a couple of days ago. Summon Limit goes even further. We covered this before the YCS. It absolutely had a huge impact within the YCS, and we see here that it is finding its way up into the different decks. People are comparing it to Vanity's Emptiness in terms of availability. You can still get these super cheap with the gold letter rares, so you can get those using the TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra extra support the channel directly with the cards you'd already be buying for the cheap. But seriously, there's so many different versions that are nice. You could get the prismatic ultimate rare, collector rare, the platinum secret. I'd probably get yourself a nicer version while they're still also cheap if you are considering this. Floodgate in style, right? Give them something to look at. Gold Pride cards are going up. There is that new support coming soon-ish. And with that, Leon's going up. Gold Pride Captain Carey's going up. So be aware that's why certain ones are. But the quantities are still very, very much there on the cards. Do kind of test before you invest. Make sure that you are going for a version of the deck that you do think is competent if you're buying in. But at least it's pretty cheap right now. Aromatherapy Jasmine is up in price. We did already cover Angelica being a common you might not know was money, but Jasmine is going further up. Plant good stuff definitely getting plenty of support. And then also Bee Troopers getting looked up a bit and starting to go in quantities of sale, up in price a little for certain cards. For the future, is it Rykea? I'm probably murdering the name, but there's a future archetype that's going to interact very well with insect monsters as well. And be aware that that's why certain ones of these are starting to go, but there's still plenty of quantities for so many cards. So if you're interested in Bee Troopers and that, also test before you grab it, but be aware that's why quantities are starting to go. I'm not sure about the viability of that. I haven't tested it. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversations. Thank you so much to the Discord for the early look at all of these cards today. And it's kind of nice to actually do a morning video for once.